Hey guys, um, I'm trying out like a new medium. I hope it works. I guess we'll find out if it works. But I just finished the audiobook called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, and I just want to talk to you guys about it because I loved it. And Elizabeth Gilbert has been like my OG since I was like 15. I read the book of hers called The Signature of All Things. I remember very vividly reading it while I was waiting in the emergency room at my hometown hospital. And I remember thinking in that moment, like, this was like must be divinity in itself because the book was incredible. And the author has the same name as like my great grandma. Like my sister is McKenna Elizabeth, named after like my dad's grandma, Elizabeth Gilbert. And I was like, what are the odds that this girl has like the same kind of mentality towards life as me? Even though it was a novel, like I had never read any of the other stuff from her before. She's really famous for Eat, Pray, Love, but I'd never even listened to Eat, Pray, Love or read it. But yeah. And so I was just honestly earlier today kind of feeling in a slump. I live in Canada, as you guys know, and it's like April 3rd today. We had a snowstorm yesterday, but sun's shining right now. It's supposed to be plus 20 this weekend. So in Canada, it's easy to kind of like get into a slump and have it be tied with the weather. Like if it's glum, snowing, whatever, it's easy to get like depressed, but as soon as you get out into the sun, you just feel so much better. So anyway, what I was doing just now was taking one of my most recent bags that I made on its maiden voyage. Voyage? Voyage? I don't even know how you say that word. Voyage. So anywho, I was doing that and listening to the audiobook, and she started talking about how passion like doesn't exist and it shouldn't exist. And if you are a creator, you should never rely on passion. What you need to rely on is consistency and discipline and just like showing up for yourself, developing that level of trust with yourself, and basically showing up for your work, whatever it may be, even if you don't really feel like it. She's talking about how curiosity and sometimes just like shifting focus, even sometimes like removing yourself from the equation altogether, can lead you to like greater things than you ever imagined. She was talking about how she started gardening because she was kind of in a slump, and she decided, you know what, like my mom was a gardener, my grandma was a gardener. Gardening's in my blood, so let me just lean into the ancestors and pretend I know what to do and start this garden. And so, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my train of thought. Right, so she just leaned into that. And after it started like working out for her, she discovered she knew what to do, like in her DNA, right? Um, that's when she started doing research on all these plants. Like this became her new thing was identifying the homeland of all of the plants that she's growing in her garden. So she found out that some were from Syria, some were from, I don't know, I don't remember where else, Turkey. She said she had some like tulips from Turkey and whatnot. So yeah, she just really started leaning into that. And after that, she started learning like about moss, and she started going down this rabbit hole of like learning about moss. And she just leaned into her creativity and her innate knowing that, like, she knew, yeah, like, just lean into the innate, honestly. You don't even have to try. Just follow something, anything. Like, as long as you're moving somehow, you're gonna find your way. Like, so she ended up, oh my God, there's some kids in a tree. That's so wholesome. Oh my God. Make childhoods wholesome again. Okay, but anyway, so she ended up following these mosses around the world. She ended up going to a bunch of different countries, learning about different plants, and like their native land. She basically went to the homeland of all the plants she was growing in her backyard because, like, why not? What did she have to lose? Nothing. So that's pretty much how she like emphasizes the risk that you have to take. But honestly, every step you take is a risk. So like, may as well be an interesting one, right? But the book that she found herself writing after this travel that was inspired by the plants that she was growing in her backyard because she was uninspired is the book that ended up in my hands when I was in the hospital emergency room of my hometown when I was 15. And that had me thinking, damn, this is all I know of this woman, but I love this woman. And it's just funny that here I am, 24 years old, and I find myself having the exact same thought processes as her. That's what really interested me when I first read her book way back in the day, is that we think the same. I was like, is this girl me? Am I her? She's my grandma's name. Like, we must be divinely connected because honestly, it's just funny. Here I am. Suddenly I'm a business owner. Suddenly I have a platform. Suddenly I'm leaning into anything that interests me because what do I have to lose, right? But the thing is, I've been thinking that way for quite some time, basically my whole life. But honestly, the biggest leap of faith I ever took was when I met my boyfriend when I was on vacation in a small town in Mexico. And we basically just fell in love like right away. It was like I found my soul twin. And honestly, to this day, it never even felt like a scary choice to make. It just felt like the only choice to make is like, you know what? Fuck it, let's see where this goes. Like, my life at the time when I met him was honestly like pretty shit. And so I was like, literally, what do I have to lose? I'm following this thread. Where is it gonna take me? And it was the best decision I ever made because he just reminds me of the whole concept of faith. Like, to be in a relationship like ours, or any relationship, but especially one as unconventional as ours, you need like an extraordinary amount of faith. Faith in like the tiniest things because that's what gets you through. And honestly, ever since taking that first leap of faith, that first step, even stepping on the plane, when I went there, I didn't know that my life was about to change for the better. And it just like goes to show how if you don't follow those like tiny threads, you could be missing the greatest like version of you that you could never have even imagined. Like that person is inside of you, but it just takes like a crazy amount of curiosity to get it out. Like, where would my life be if I wouldn't have like gone there by myself and just been open or just come by? Oh my God, I'm on a walk, by the way. Did you guys know that? Going to a very beautiful place. Yeah, it's just beautiful. Like, if you ever feel unmotivated, honestly, just like go for a walk or something. Walking is always rewarding. Even I was listening to this podcast last few weekends. Yes, multiple. Honestly, it's the soundtrack of my weekends these days. I like wake up, hopefully the sun's shining. I like spray some of that. Uh, I don't know, some sort of like crystal spray around my room. Open the blinds, open the window, turn on that podcast. Oh, what do I do? Oh yeah, there was like sourdough English muffins made in Canada, of course, on sale at the grocery store a few weeks ago. So I've been into those lately. And I have this like apricot marmalade I've been putting on them every morning. Oh my God, that's good. I was also mixing like green apples. I would cut them up, mix them with the cappuccino Greek yogurt. Holy, you should try that. And like a matcha or a iced coffee or some lemon water. Oh my God, a dog just had diarrhea on the sidewalk. I almost stepped in it. But yeah, so you just have to like find those things that you start to look forward to, right? Like I've started looking forward to doing those things that just like make my day feel a little bit fresh and open for whatever may come. And it's important to not have any expectations, just like show up and do interesting stuff for the hell of it. Like, you don't even have to tell anyone. Oh, I see a license plate 777. Slay. But oh my God, the reason I was talking about Anna Howard's podcast, um, is because she was talking about how like delayed gratification is actually the best thing you can possibly have for yourself because it's about the journey, not about the destination. Like, oh my God, that tree is surrounded by bales. I wonder why. What was I talking about? Oh, it's a day home. Maybe they use the bales to like draw their eye to their day home sign. Who knows, right? Who knows? Whatever. As my boyfriend taught me, pero bueno. Well, okay, whatever. Pero bueno. But what are you saying? Wait, how walks are like delayed gratification, and you just have to like get comfortable with delayed gratification because it teaches you that everything's gratifying and everything is important, not just the thing at the end, right? Like everything. It's like when you're reading a book. A few months ago, I was in like a reading slump. And you know, when you like start a book and then like 5 pages in, if it doesn't catch your attention, like you just give up. Well, I started to think, give it a chance because there's so many chapters ahead of this. Obviously, there's something to it. Like something happens. Let's just like stick around, commit to reading a few pages every day and see what happens, right? And if I wouldn't have like implemented that new rule onto myself, like to at least give it a few chapters. Oh my God, I wouldn't be like reading as many books as I am today because you just start looking forward to finishing things. Same with sewing, like earlier we were talking about just channeling your ancestors. And that's something I've been doing for, well, I actually just started sewing in like November. So since November, that's something I've been doing too, is just channeling my ancestors. I don't know how to sew. I had nobody to ask, literally nobody. My grandma, dead. All my other grandmas, dead. Like, except for Grandma Joanne, love you, girl. But, like, I had nobody to show me. But if I just sat around waiting, like, how was I ever gonna learn? So honestly, the day that I learned, I actually took like a mushroom capsule. Not a lot. It's just like a microdose situation. And that's when the ancestors start talking to me. Oh, I sound schizophrenic. I'm not. But that's when I had a little voice in my head saying, okay, girl, you bought this hot pink sewing machine. Let's go. Let's do it. No one's coming to save you, right? Let's just figure it out. And that's the day that I sat down and I watched some videos and I taught myself. And every day, oh my God, I hear some, oh my God, it was a dog. Oh my gosh, you guys, I live in rattlesnake country and where I'm walking right now, there's rattlesnakes. There, I took a picture of it for you guys. And I'll figure out how to put it on there. Oh my God, I wish you could see like where I am right now. It's so beautiful. Um, well, here, I'll take another picture. Well, I'll try. I'll try, okay? Um, but yeah, damn. When I took a video, um, the recording ended. But I'm back. Also, love how I'm losing my voice. I just after walking and talking. That's funny. Um, oh yeah, I was talking about channeling the ancestors. Sometimes that's really what you have to do because, like, literally, how else are you gonna learn? Like, it's like I said, no one's coming to save you. Just try. It's the worst that can happen. Just try. Like, I have a lot of thrifted sewing material, like bed sheets and no, I don't have any bed sheets actually. I think that's kind of gross. No offense. Um, what do I have? Tablecloths. I have a lot of tablecloths, and I have some curtains and some duvet covers, right? And some XXL shirts that were like 50 cents at the thrift store. And that's what I've been using. Um, oh my gosh. I love benches with just like like plaques on them. When I die, like family, friends, anyone, dedicate to me a bench with a plaque. Right? I don't care where it is. People need to sit down everywhere. Just do it. Um, yeah, so I have those things that I've bought over time. And every time I buy something, I have a vision for it, right? Like, "Ooh, this is gonna be this is gonna be this, whatever." But for the time being, I honestly haven't like jumped into making clothes yet. That's what I wanted to do, but I was kind of too scared, if I'm being honest. Oh my God, really? I'm scared? Yes. But this weekend, I decided to just go for it. I'm taking the advice of TikToker and YouTuber that's So Chan. Also, she's such an angel. She says she loves my voice, so this one's for you, babe. But what she said one time echoes in my brain. Like, I was in my parents' house with my grandparents over my reading break this February, and I ended up watching some of her TikToks. This was the first time I ever found her. I think it was like February 17th. Oh my God, it was such a pivotal moment in my life for real. Because she was making this skirt. It started off with a garbage bag full of shirts that her coworker had given her or something. And she said, like, I am not gonna buy anything else. I'm just gonna see what I can do with what I have. So what she had was this bag full of shirts, and she was making this skirt. She had this pattern for this skirt. And she made the first one, and it was kind of fucked up. And she was like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up, but I'm happy that I tried. Now I know what to do next. I have an idea for what to do, and I'm gonna make another one. So after what she learned, she made another one, and it was like slowly getting better, and she's really excited about it. I think she made a matching top for that one too. And then finally she was like, okay, I think I'm comfortable. I'm gonna fucking go for it. So she started chopping up all the shirts into little squares, and she started making patchwork from the little squares. And then she needed to like break it up somehow, and then she decided to use this bias tape that she already had, and literally all of this stuff just based on her vow to try using what she had and not buy anything else for this project ended up resulting in like literally the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Like this skirt belongs in a museum. Like I will attach a picture of it because she is a genius, like literally a genius. Or I guess it's like Elizabeth Gilbert was saying in the Big Magic book a few chapters ago. Um, you don't have you don't you're not a genius, you have genius. Because apparently, oh my God, I think there's someone like twerking over there. There's two little girls and one of them is scratching their butt and they're laughing. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, anyway, Elizabeth Gilbert was saying you're not a genius, but you have genius. Because apparently back in the day, your creativity was called a genius. Like you have this little elf that is creative and that's what comes and like tickles you to make creative things. So it takes some of the pressure off. Because you're not a genius, you just have genius or you have a genius. Um, and yeah, she said like once the switch started to be made from people saying a genius from like a noun to like a verb, um, artists like started kind of struggling with their mental health more because um it's like too much pressure. Like I'm not a genius. I just have a genius that tickles me to do cool things sometimes. That's it. Don't call me a genius. Too much pressure. But okay, but whatever. We'll make the exception for Miss That's So Chan because she's a genius. But she's inspired me to just work with what I have and see what I can do. And that's actually how I've been making the beautiful things that I've been making. Because it's like a challenge. It's like, okay, let's just send it. Like all of this stuff was like $4. What's the worst that can happen? Let's just try. So that big shirt that I was talking about earlier, I ended up this weekend deciding to make shorts. I was like, girl, I just want to make shorts. How hard can it be? I didn't have a pattern and my printer is so like temperamental, so I don't like using it. So basically I've decided to just learn how to draft patterns. Um, but the hardest part about drafting patterns so far is actually like following through and actually like cutting up some fabric to use the pattern for. But this weekend, yeah, I was just like, whatever, girl, like just try, like fuck, like just try. So yeah, I used that shirt and I figured out how to make a shorts pattern from some shorts I already had, cut it out and cut out my shirt. And then I had enough fabric that I ended up making a little matching tube top and I was using my serger kind of for the first time. Not the first time, but like I'd never really like used it as a partner in my creative endeavor before till this moment. And it was great. It worked out really well. And then I made like a tape. bust for myself. I decided to like see what that would be like last week. So I just like put on a shirt and taped myself up and I cut it open and then a few days later I figured out how to like that's the thing. It takes a few days between steps sometimes. You have to let the dust settle and kind of let the thing you just made kind of settle into life. Like it was just born, like give it a few days, right? So I figured out how to make a draft of that. And then what did I do? Sorry, I'm just like staring over the cooler right now. Like it's so beautiful. I'm just like thinking, talking, getting lost in space by beauty. Um, oh my God, what was I talking about? Right, and I decided to make a silk shirt. I had this piece of silk I got with my grandma at the thrift store, literally for a bag sale. So I didn't even pay probably like 5 cents for this silk. Vintage silk. Just stunning. I was like, oh, what am I gonna do today? Blah, 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 blah. Then I decided, you know what? I'm gonna make something. I'm just gonna do it. I don't even care what. It's it's like Anna Howard said in her podcast. It was a life begging to be born. So, um, and I think she said that was from the Book of Longing by Sue Monk Kidd, which I think I should read because damn, that's a quote. That's a good quote. I feel that. Um, but yeah, and I just decided to go for it, and I'll show you the results, but it's not done. But it's pretty awesome. And anyway, actually, now the wind is starting to pick up, and I have to walk like 25 more minutes back to my house. So I'm gonna let you guys go, but thanks for listening. Um, bye, Queens.